Hi.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you guys are great. With us now are Andy and Pearl Lockwood, and they are college experts, both attorneys, and they specialize in helping people get into college and pay for college. More importantly, pay for it, right? Welcome. How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good. So, Andy, tell us a little bit about why we're here today and what we're going to be featuring.
Well, college is very expensive. You may have heard something about that, and the decision about whether to pay full price or not is really that. It's a choice. So we specialize in helping people get discounts or pay wholesale for college.
And a lot of times, middle class people from all over the country, they don't qualify for the things that are the basic things. So you got to dig a little harder for the money.
Well, so that's one of the myths. That most money actually is awarded to families in the top 25% of earnings. So there's actually more money for what we call forgotten middle class families than not. The average discount by a private school, those tend to be the ones with the very high sticker prices, is 49.1%. So there's a lot of money out there. And at any given college, roughly 25% of the families only pay full price. They're subsidizing the other 75%.
Excellent. And how do you apply for that, Pearl? How do you fill out all that paperwork?
Well, there are two main forms. One is called the FAFSA, which some 4,000 schools out there require. And then there's an additional form that many of the schools, but not all, require. About 300 or so of those schools also require a second form called the CSS Profile. But I can't stress enough that it is important that each applicant go onto a school's own website to verify, because each year can change, what is that school requiring in the way of forms. They can also have not only these two forms, but an institutional form as well that needs to be completed.
And I've done it twice. Actually, I've done it 8 times because the FAFSA for my, I had 2 kids that have gone through college, and I had to reapply every single year. I had to go through the whole form over and over again. Are there like some tips, or like can you help people guide them through it?
Sure. Well, it's very, very important to stay careful and really see what is being asked of you. I can just tell you offhand, this year there was a big change in the income year that was used for the FAFSA.
Okay.
This year, the Department of Education is looking at your 2-year look back on your income.
Okay.
So, for example, for this upcoming year, the rising seniors, their financial aid tax base year will be the 2016 tax return. And even though they're applying for the fall of 2018, for example. However, your assets are supposed to be as of the day you submit the form. So those are 2 different timelines.
And you're right, you do have to read it very, very carefully, because your primary residence is not considered an asset, but only if you have, other properties, investment properties. But people, they get confused, and they could be really losing out on some money that is possible for them to.
So on the FAFSA, there are 4 exemptions, 4 things that you should never disclose. And if you do, you're shooting yourself in the foot by oversharing information that shouldn't be counted against you. So a lot of people, when they fill out the question of what's the value of your investments, they'll include things that shouldn't be included, and they're losing money by doing that. So the primary residence is one, retirement accounts is another big one, and like Pearl was saying, you have to be very patient, and you have to look through all of the very little directions and the notes and all that to really make sure you're not shooting yourself in the foot.
And deadlines too.
And deadlines are huge. And to that, I'll just say the forms themselves come out October 1st, both the CSS Profile and the FAFSA. However, what date your form is due depends on what each school's priority financial aid deadline is, and that also it also matters how you're applying to that school. Are you applying early action, early decision? Are you applying regular decision? That will also make a difference in when your priority financial aid deadline is.
And why pay full price, right? So that's why you guys wrote this book. Ta-da!
Yeah, well, it's a choice, right?
Sure
you don't
is.
have to pay full price, but if you make mistakes, like Pearl was saying, if you miss a priority deadline, then they're either out of money completely, or they're not going to consider you as fully as they should. And the last thing we should talk about is that when you get an offer, it's not necessarily the highest and best offer, because colleges are businesses, and you have to look at yourself when you're applying to school as being in business for yourself, and understand that there could be a negotiation. We had a kid this last year who was offered 0 initially from Harvard, and the good news was that we found a mistake that Harvard made. Even Harvard makes mistakes. Then he made, they corrected to $6,000 or $7,000, and then he started getting other offers from other schools when the dust settled, you got $51,000 finally for 1 year,
Yes.
starting from zero.
Excellent.
So they negotiate, even if they claim they don't.
Excellent. Those are really great tips. So it's how to pay wholesale for college. And you guys also have a lot, you guys are college experts. So if they go to your website, they're going to be able to see all the other things that you've written, all the other help that you're going to give them. And you also answer your own emails. If somebody emails you, you do take some questions via email, correct?
Absolutely.
course.
We do a lot of
Excellent.
live presentations, a lot of workshops, which are also listed on our website.
Excellent. You guys, thank you so much. The Lockwoods. Okay, helping you with your higher education, getting it funded, writing college essays. They really, truly know what they're doing. Thanks for watching. Live it up.